Voila. Hello there. Today I have sort of a viewer request question to talk to you about, and it all started when I posted this on Instagram. Aren't they so cute? This is the newest pattern in my shop, the frog doll. They have movable arms, knotted little knees. You can make them shorts or a skirt. You can go get this pattern now in my shop, and I'll put the link to it in the very first part of the description so you can find it easily. The best part is that these dolls can wear all of the clothes that the Phoebe Ragdoll collection can wear. So the Phoebe Ragdoll collection has the babies and the cow, pig, bunny, mouse, and cat. All the clothes that I've made for those, with the exception of the baby sleep sack, you'll have to because the legs, won't accommodate the legs. So if you have any of those patterns already, or you have the baby in the clothes collection, then you can make all of those clothes to fit the new frog doll. I think they're so cute and so funny. But when I posted this, a viewer or someone on Instagram wrote me a message and said, please can you make a video on how to turn and stuff these tiny little tube arms and legs? And so today I'm going to show you a few different methods for turning small tubes right side out, and one big fat trick for stuffing them. I have one trick. That's all you need. So I'm Nikki. This is Pin Cut. So let's go turn and stuff some frog legs. Sounds really funny. Wait, I want to thank everybody for listening to episode 2 of our podcast. If you didn't know that episode 2 is out, it is out now on the Making History podcast. You can listen to it here on YouTube or on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, wherever you like to listen to podcasts. So I'm going to link you to that too. We've gotten so much fun and positive feedback about the podcast. It has been so fun for me to research and have these discussions. So my mom is my guest this time. You might remember her from that video you guys loved. It has one of the highest amount of comments on any of my videos that I did with my mom. So I will also link you to the podcast. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so I am working on my third and final frog. I'm making this one out of really scrappy fabric. So I pulled all the green scraps I have out of my drawer, and I made a bunch of kind of mismatched arms and legs. So I'm going to be finishing this, but this video is only about the tube turning and stuffing. So your method sort of depends on whether you're trying to turn a closed tube or an open tube. And just for learning purposes, I created a simple open tube just to show you. And then I'm going to show you a cheater way not to have to turn it at all if it's too tiny like this. So first though, let me show you how to turn this frog leg. So the first thing I like to grab is a pencil with an eraser on it, like this, because I can just anchor it here. And if you separate the layers of your tube front from back like this, so you can create sort of a starter. And obviously this would probably be easier on a tube that doesn't have a frog foot attached. But I stuck the pencil eraser in there, and then I'm just anchoring it down on my board. And then I can just work the fabric over the pencil until it comes out the other end, like so. And then the pencil slides right out. I was trying to find a pencil that wasn't sharpened, but just be careful not to write on it. And then I can use my chopstick to gently poke out my frog toes. Okay, so there's frog leg number 1. Let me show you from a different angle, since from this side you can't really see the pencil. Okay, so here's my frog leg. I'm going to separate front from back, kind of get it started with a divot. This will work on any size tube, but for this method I feel like the larger the better. I'm going to slide it onto my pencil eraser, anchor my pencil on my mat, and just pull the fabric down onto it until it comes out the other end, and then pull out my pencil. So when I have wider tubes or short pieces like this, the pencil eraser method is what I do, even though I have my fancy turning tool. This is just so simple and easy. If you are trying to turn a smaller tube though, the pencil method might be harder. And so what you would do in that scenario, usually those tubes would be open-ended. If they're not, you might consider leaving it open-ended and closing the end a different way somehow. But this is what I would do in that scenario. So I have this tube here, and all you need is a safety pin. Most people have safety pins around the house. I have them in several sizes here in my sewing room. So all you need to do is attach the safety pin to one end of your tube, and then you're going to put the head of it inside your tube and start to work it to the other side. You'll notice that it starts to get sort of bunched up here at the end. So as you go, you want to work that already turned fabric over itself. You don't want to just keep gathering it like this, because then you're going to end up with a bunch over here that you're going to have to deal with, and it will be more difficult if you wait. So keep turning it as you go. And this works for any size tube as long as you have a safety pin small enough. Voila. So before I show you the cheater method, let me show you what fancy tool I have. I have demonstrated this in a few videos before. This is called a fast turn, not this, this. It's called a fast turn, and I'll link you to it. It is not super cheap. I think it's about $50 nowadays, but I've had mine for like 25 years. So it will last you. For me, it's an essential sewing room tool. I would be really annoyed if I had to live without it, especially if you're sewing garments. It's really, really useful. So in this instance, I want to pick the tube that fits my frog leg. I think this one would be too big probably. I guess I could try it. Yeah, that's too big. This one will be fine. I'm going to put my frog leg tube over this wide tube. I've also seen people, a lot of comments in the last demonstration of this said they just use a big straw and a chopstick. So I guess it would work similarly. You put the chopstick inside of here and you shove it all the way through. I've never used that method before, so I'm not really sure how it works. And now I'm going to insert this into here. But so I don't just grab one small layer of fabric that it could just tear right out of. I like to double it over at the end. And then there's a little twisting hook on the end of each grabber thing. And you just twist it in. So did you see it come out of there? And now it's secure to my fabric. So now I can just pull my tube through. They're very strong. I've never had one break. And now I can separate my toes out at the end. One more secret to getting tubes to turn, especially if you're using maybe a thicker fabric, or in my case, I have all this bulk around the toes. You definitely want to, you can see here how I snipped the inner corners. I put lots of snips around the toes so they end up nice and curvy, but I also trimmed the bulk. This is important too, like on the ballerina doll or on Ruby's. Around Ruby's hands and feet, I always trim. I trim those narrower areas too. So say that you have a tiny tube and your pattern piece says, yeah, just sew it in a 1/2-inch seam and then turn it right side out, and you're supposed to end up with like the skinniest little tube. I hate that. So what you can do instead is cheat. We're just going to press both ends toward the middle, sort of like pre-made bias tape would. Ah, it's hot. And then I'm going to go over to my sewing machine. I'm going to fold it in half on itself, and I'm going to edge stitch close to that folded edge. Voila! Now I have this tiny turned tube that I didn't have to give myself a headache over trying to turn right side out. So that is the cheater way. Okay, so last thing. In order to stuff small pieces, this woman who wrote to me on Instagram, she said, can you please tell us how to stuff these small pieces? And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. I'll make a video. But then also, I'm going to tell you right now, the answer is hemostats. Just regular old doctor's hemostats. Mine actually came from my husband's army nurse friend. And it was like 20 years ago. I'm sure they make more aesthetic ones just for sewing, but these do the job just as well. So the difference between this and just trying to shove it in with a poking tool is that the poking tool slips right through your cotton, your stuffing, and it's super annoying. And you're trying to shove it down there. A pencil eraser can be a little bit better, but even that shoves right through. And then trying to use tweezers, they just don't grasp like these do. So you just grab a piece, shove it down in there. And because these lock closed, it's so much easier and so easy to stuff your little pieces. So there you go. Hemostats are the secret to stuffing, especially little things like this when you have to get them all the way down to the ends. All right, I'm gonna finish sewing this frog doll and then I will show you when he's done. Make sure you hop over and get the frog doll sewing pattern. And I actually also have a whole list now, a playlist here on YouTube of ragdoll sewing patterns. Sewing tutorials for things like embroidered faces, the movable arms, sewing small things. There's so many great ragdoll sewing tutorials, and the yarn hair like Ruby has. I bet the Ruby dress would also fit the frog dolls. Ah, so cute. Yeah, I bet they would. Looks the same to me.